took 6 different gaming devices in the family holiday. Why? Because I wasn't sure which one would be the most suitable to use when going on a family vacation, and neither did anyone else that I asked. So I decided to test them all, from the Nintendo Switch 2 to the Nitro Gaming Mobile Controller, and each device had its strengths and weaknesses when it came to portability, battery life, and convenience. And when you're on a holiday with your wife and kids, you're gonna need something that keeps everyone entertained if needed. So 6 gaming devices and one big question: which of these gaming devices would be the best one for your family holiday experience? Now, the first device that I packed was the PlayStation Portal, a handheld remote play device with an 8-inch screen that lets you remote play your PS5 games and stream PlayStation's cloud catalog from anywhere with a strong internet connection. Now, being an internet-based device, this isn't always practical on planes, since most flights don't have Wi-Fi, and if they do, it can be weak or limited because of bare people using it. So this definitely isn't a device that you should plan on using while flying. Now, with my hotel, the Wi-Fi was solid in some areas and terrible in others, which made the Portal a bit challenging to use at times. Luckily, I brought a mobile hotspot device with me, but even though that helped a little bit, it wasn't enough to play games without major lag, a crazy drop in quality, or the game cutting off completely. Now, when this thing worked, it worked. Like, I was able to cloud stream perfectly and play games for as long as I'd like. But when it came to remote playing my PS5, the lag was proper noticeable, which would really mess up the experience if I was playing online or a platform game that needs precise timing. I did want to test how the screen works in direct sunlight, but because I couldn't get a stable connection outside the hotel's reception area, I wasn't able to take it outside to find out what it was saying. So in conclusion, if you're planning on bringing a PlayStation Portal on holiday, it'll work best in places with a strong internet connections like an Airbnb or somewhere you know the Wi-Fi is reliable. But if you're staying in a crowded hotel with dodgy Wi-Fi like I did, then you'll probably be best just leaving it at home. Now, I thought the second device that I packed, which was the MSI Claw, was going to be the one that I spent the most time on, and let me explain why. So the Claw is a Windows-based handheld device that's basically a compact gaming PC with a 7-inch touchscreen. You got Steam, Xbox Game Pass, and anything else that you can run on the Windows laptop all in a handheld device. So with all that power and flexibility, I figured this one was going to be the perfect device for the trip. By the way, while I'm talking about the MSI Claw for my holiday experience, most gaming PC handhelds will give you a similar experience when it comes to using them on the go. Now, this was a great device to bring on planes because you got bare games that you can download in advance to play on the journey, which you can play without needing internet to do so. The downside though, if you want to play them at their best in terms of quality and frame rate, you're only gonna have about an hour and a half to 2 hours of gameplay before the battery completely dies on you. Unless you got a power bank or power socket next to your seat, then you got no way to charge it mid-flight. Now, this thing works perfect in the hotel, especially if the hotel you're staying in gives you access to the HDMI ports on the TV, because you can dock it and use it on the big screen to game, do a bit of work, or just watch your own shows instead of trying to find an English speaking channel or share a small screen with the family. Now, the one issue that I had with this device was the updates, because Windows is constantly asking for them, and some games won't let you launch them until that's sorted. And with my hotel's Wi-Fi being so rubbish, updates took forever. Fortunately for me, I bought a hotspot device for backup Wi-Fi, which helped solve that issue, and even allowed me to play some less demanding games online as well. When it did run games outside though, the screen actually performed really well, and even though there was some glare, it didn't actually stop me from enjoying the game. And even though it hasn't got a long battery life, it lasted long enough for me to be able to have a good gaming session before locking it off and spending some time with the fam. So overall, the MSI Claw is really good for multi-purpose use when on holiday, and perfect if you're indoors with a good power source. But for long flights without a power source, you won't be able to use it for too long before the battery dies on you. Now, if you're a Nintendo fan, you're definitely gonna want to see how the Switch 2 held up on holiday, so stay tuned for that. Now, the Switch 2 is Nintendo's upgraded version of the OG hybrid console, but this one's got an even bigger 7.9-inch touchscreen on it. You can use it as a handheld, put it in tabletop mode, or dock it and play it on a TV, but I'll get back to that mode in a minute. Travel size wise, if you got a good case, then you're fine, because it's not heavy at all, and I bought all the accessories with me in a travel bag. Now, this thing works perfectly on the plane because I could play games offline by cartridges or downloading them as digital games in advance. So the plane's lack of Wi-Fi meant nothing to me, except that I wasn't able to play online. And because the two Joy-Cons can be used as two separate controllers, I was able to play 2-player with my son on games like Mario Kart World and Super Smash Bros. Now, in the hotel, there wasn't one place where this thing didn't shine. Like, we was able to set it up on tables, in the bedroom, or in the reception area using the built-in kickstand. Or I could play comfortably in handheld mode while lying in the bed, or just chilling on a beach chair. Like, it really turned those boring moments into really good multiplayer sessions. Now back to docking mode. If your hotel allows you to, you can dock it and connect it to the TV to play it on a bigger screen. But if not, the screen's still a decent enough size for you to be able to play a couple games without issues. Now as for outdoors, the screen was decent, but I wouldn't say that it's built for bright sunlight. Like, it was good enough for me to be able to chill in the balcony and play a couple games. As long as the sun wasn't blazing in my face, it was fine. In terms of battery life, it held up better than most, especially where I wasn't trying to have a full-on gaming session like I would at home. So I didn't need to plug it in constantly. I just gave it a charge overnight and we was good to go the next day. So to wrap this up, the Switch 2 didn't actually surprise me, but it did definitely prove why I expected to be one of the best consoles for a family holiday. Now the fourth device that I packed was the Acer Nitro V15 laptop. It's a sick Windows gaming laptop with a 15.6-inch Full HD screen, a dedicated RTX graphics card, and it's got full access to Steam, Xbox Game Pass, Epic, or whatever launcher you choose to use on PC. Now this one's crazy when it comes to performance. Like, you can play AAA games with no problems, and you can download everything in advance to run offline, which is perfect when you're on a plane with no Wi-Fi. But here's the problem though, gaming laptops aren't small, so it takes up all the space in your flight tray table, and you'll definitely start to feel the weight of it when you're carrying it around from place to place, and that gets annoying real quick, especially when you got suitcases and kids to deal with. Also, unless you got a heavyweight power bank or power socket at your seat, you're only getting about an hour and a half of gameplay before the battery dies on you. Now where this gaming laptop really shines is in the hotel room or reception area, cause you can use it for gaming, working, or watching your own shows. And if the hotel room TV gives you access to the HDMI ports, you can connect it and enjoy everything on the big screen. But even if you can't get to them, the laptop screen's still a great size and big enough for everyone to gather around and share it comfortably. Now, like with the Claw, one thing that slowed down my gaming time was Windows updates and game patches. And if your hotel Wi-Fi is moving slow, it can be proper annoying when you're trying to launch a game that you thought was ready to go. Oh, and forget using it outdoors, because the screen isn't bright enough to be able to handle direct sunlight, and taking it by the poolside or on the beach would just be dumb. Plus, if the country's hot at the time, it only makes the fans work harder and the battery will run out quicker because of it. So overall, the Nitro V15 is a beast of a gaming laptop when it comes to raw power. So if you're gonna be in one place with a solid power source like a hotel room, then it's the perfect device to bring on holiday with you. But as soon as you step out of that controlled environment, the size, weight, and battery life all start working against you. By the way, while I'm talking about the V15, most gaming laptops will give you a similar experience to this one. Now the fifth device, the Logitech G Cloud, is one that I use on a regular at home, so I had high hopes that it'll come through for me on the holiday. Now the G Cloud's an Android-based handheld device with a 7-inch Full HD touchscreen, which is basically built for cloud gaming. So you can use platforms like Xbox Cloud Gaming, Steam Link, and other internet-based gaming platforms on it. Now, cause it's mostly internet dependent, when it came to the flight, none of the cloud platforms would work on it. But since it's also an Android-based device, I could still play Android games that are pre-downloaded from the Google Play Store. And with a 12-hour battery, it could last even on a long-haul flight. Now, I did try the cloud platforms again when I got to the hotel, but the Wi-Fi was rubbish, so Steam Link and PS Remote Play would not work. And Xbox Cloud Gaming kept on saying I wasn't in a region that supported it. And unfortunately, the G Cloud doesn't let you use a VPN and gaming app at the same time to bypass that. So it was straight back to Android apps. Using it outside was fine, like the screen handled sunlight as good as I needed it to. But with the limited gaming options that I had, I didn't end up using it too much to game, but I did use it to watch my own shows in it. Unfortunately though, the screen's not big enough to share and let everyone watch it at the same time. So overall, the G Cloud's fine if you got stable Wi-Fi, you're in an Xbox Cloud Gaming supported region, or you got a good amount of offline games preloaded. But if you're hoping to rely on cloud gaming services in a place with dodgy internet, it's gonna get boring real quick. Now the very last device that I packed was Acer's Nitro Mobile Gaming Controller. It's a budget-friendly option that basically turns your phone into a handheld console. Now these things lightweight, clip straight to your phone, and because it connects directly, there's no Bluetooth delay to worry about. Now this thing was perfect to use on the plane, cause I literally just clipped it to my phone, loaded up a few offline games that I already downloaded, and I was good to go. Now don't get it twisted, it's not on the same level as a dedicated handheld, but for passing time on the flight, it definitely did its thing. Now in the hotel, it worked best when paired with a stable Wi-Fi connection connection for streaming services like Xbox Cloud Gaming. But that gave me the same issue that I had with the G Cloud, saying that I wasn't in a supported region. But since it was a phone that I was using, I could run a VPN app alongside the Xbox Cloud Gaming app, which bypassed all that. So I was still able to stream and play Xbox titles. Now, I tried to remote play apps like Steam Link and PS Remote Play, but the hotel Wi-Fi was dead, so it just wasn't having it. Now, one of the only problems that I personally had with this device was that the phone screen is smaller than your average handheld device. Oh, and the fact that the screen struggled in bright sunlight. Like, sometimes I literally couldn't see what was happening at all. So overall, the Nitro Mobile Gaming Controller is a great budget option if you want something lightweight, portable, and flexible, but it won't match the power of a Steam Deck or a Switch 2. Anyway, that's the last device in this series, so hopefully it gave you some ideas of which device might be best for you on your own holidays. If you want to see more sick gaming room content like this, then follow me on socials and like and share this video.